Hey, what's up? Piz out here. Going to talk about a film that was recently released to DVD called The Hills Run Red, directed by Dave Parker. The movie is about a young man who is obsessed with locating a very obscure and seemingly lost horror film called The Hills Run Red, which is supposed to be the most graphic horror film ever made, so on and so forth. His journey to find the film leads him to finding the filmmaker's daughter, who was also in the film as a young girl, and she agrees to lead our protagonist, his girlfriend and best friend, into the woods, and to find the house where the film was made, and to ultimately show them the film. Just by looking at the cover of The Hills Run Red, you get the impression that this is a slasher movie. It's not. Though it does have elements of being a slasher movie. It's really not. What the film has going for it is an interesting premise. I like the idea of characters who are obsessed with something or someone. I just find interesting in general. The fact that he was obsessed with an obscure horror film sort of endeared him to me. I like that aspect of it. I would say the first half hour of the film works really well to kind of draw you in. Sophie Monk is in the film, and she performs a very titillating striptease. The protagonist, who's played by Ted Hilgenbrash, or Hilgen something or the other, who was in The Lost Boys 2, his girlfriend is very easy on the eyes, so that's also a plus. While it's not really a slasher movie per se, it does have those elements. There's plenty of blood. There's plenty of stuff like that. If that interests you alone. What the film doesn't have going for it, the endless opining of what is film, or the power of film. Film is life. Film doesn't lie. You just get that constantly, to the point of you're just sick of hearing it. There's a point in the film where and I'm using the word now. It's hard to keep interested. There's this very long sequence in the woods where it's just the four characters wandering through the woods to get to this house out in the middle of nowhere. And it feels like a very long, extended kind of setup for a slasher. And again, it's got slasher elements, but it's not really a slasher. It's got slasher elements. It's got torture porn elements. It's kind of hard to classify. I lost interest in the film about sometime during the second act, while they were traipsing off through the woods. But in an odd way, I couldn't stop watching the movie. I don't know why. I kind of lost the interest, but for some reason I couldn't stop watching it. And I think that might have something to do with Sophie Monk. But anywho, it's a decent movie. As horror movies go, it's decent. I didn't think it was that original. I didn't think it was that cutting edge. It's kind of there's a lot of things, a lot of character-y things that are set up in the film that really kind of go nowhere. There's like this one character has like a rapid drug detox that by the end of the film you're just you're like kind of left scratching your head wondering, why was that even there? It kind of plays toward one of the characters, his obsession, what the means that he'll go to find this film, but it's just kind of silly, really. And then there's a love triangle kind of thing that just sort of goes nowhere. It just seems like there was a lot more they could have done with the story that they didn't do to explore, I don't know, the obsession or whatever. They were trying to establish that, I think that, this wasn't the first guy who'd gone off in search of the film The Hills Run Red and has subsequently disappeared. I think they could have maybe mentioned that, and everyone who goes in search of the movie disappears just like the movie has. That would have added an interesting little flavor to the movie that was lacking. It's a decent horror movie. The character of Babyface, who's like the killer or whatever in the thing, he looks okay. I mean, he's not a completely original kind of character either. Kind of reminded me of both Jason and Leatherface. It's not bad. It's not great. I would say rent it. And just sort of temper your expectations, because it's not a slasher movie, even though it kind of looks like one. It's really sort of a movie about obsession. It's a mixed bag. It works on some levels, and on other levels it doesn't. The last half hour of the movie I thought was pretty disinteresting, but as I said, I couldn't stop watching it. So, anywho, that was The Hills Run Red. Getting a marginal, kind of, out of 4 stars, I might give it 2. 2.5 maybe. Sophie Month was looking pretty good there. So, anywho, that was The Hills Run Red. So, until next time, peace.